Hello, hello, hello. Let's see if the stream works. I'm still trying to test to make sure things are working. Seems like we're good, but once again, just never. Yeah, okay. So I'll give it another minute. Start that up. Plug in the stream, saying I'm live, so get this going. Yeah, so going to be a speed run kind of review because got to be rating in a little bit. So sorry if it's brief. Sorry if there's something I don't fully explain. Got 2 points of view, Hashi and Mana War. Tend to use Hashi's more for the analysis, just because of the fact that he has raid frames. But yeah, the reason doing this is we are doing DMF AQ40 this week, and more specifically, this is the first time that we're going to be trying to go fast ever in a raid. In the history of us doing all of these raids since I have been raiding on Era, has been more of a parse focus, has been more of a safety focus. This is more of a speed kind of focus. Now, not full speed, but we do want to try and beat the other guild that has gone fast-ish in Era. They have on the logs right now, what is it, like 46 minutes, something like that. So we want to beat that. So this isn't a great review in the terms of like our last AQ40 is pretty scuffed. I guess maybe it's good to talk about why it went scuffed and what went scuffed and what we can improve on. But yeah, we can also just try and talk about some of the things that we might do differently. So getting right into it. First pack, obviously you don't want to wipe on the first pack, so let's make sure that we're all prepared, fully set. Make sure that you have your consumes, yada yada, all ready to go from the very first get-go. I'm going to be going full blast. Shard is going to be cracking the whip, so if you're left behind, you're left behind. Make sure that when the call is made to unboon, that means that you're fully ready. These packs we need to improve on. Mages need to all detect magic each of the mobs. If one of them backfires, like say that, you know, it backfired, which means that it's then immune to Arcane, and maybe Shadow is the other thing it's immune to, we want all the casters to stack. So to be super clear, like, you gotta get close, like in here, be there, don't be like far out. That's a no-no. Lots of times I'm seeing people that are just not close, and that's a problem. When we start those pulls, we don't know if they're Shadow. We'll quickly figure out if it's Thunderclap, and that means that we move it out of the way. If it's not Thunderclap, then you might as well be stacked. So as soon as we go in on those packs, it's kind of like the AQ20 mobs, how we always say that no matter what it is, you stack. Kind of similar to this. No matter what it is, just always stack. Now the second mob, didn't get too close here. I've seen it a lot of times when the hunter pulls that mob in, people aren't paying attention, and my raid has wiped from that before. So when the hunter's pulling these eradicators, it's really important that priests are mana burning and we quickly turn and focus those. And the hunter calls out that they're pulling is important too. So just another pack of these mobs coming up. Go forward a little bit. So Sartura, Scarum, super easy. We always kill the ones that are fake first. So he has a nice weak aura, but we mark it. That's really nice. Maybe he'll share that. But we mark it so that you know which one is real. Just always kill the fake ones. Ideally, we'll have the tanks bring the fake guys close together so we can cleave them and just blow them up. Great job CCing. We had a pretty good Scarum. Obviously, Yumiki died. And, I mean, dying with... I don't know if they had bubbles still up, but as a paladin, you really shouldn't die in this fight. Try and make sure you don't bubble before the fight, so all paladins can bubble during this. Yeah, just we'll go forward. Obviously, you want to move quick, catch up quick. We're going to be pulling this pack super fast. Super easy stuff. Make sure that you are far on the side. Don't be close to the edge. You can pull down below. Probably likely that we just run right into the bottom no matter how things are. So just be ready to jump down. For the warriors, I think we're probably still going to play it safe. We might do lip shouts. If we do, it's important that, you know, you might want to lip like 1 second before they pop if you have aggro on one. If you have aggro on more than one of those little warriors, you might die. So, you know, put a shield on, be ready when they explode. All those little mobs are going to be hitting you if you're a tank. So it's pretty scary. That's one of the points where we pretty easily could lose a Frilled Wood buff people. So these packs, yeah, we're just going to bring them right here, stack them up, blow them up, kill Skull and X really quickly. Make sure you're in a spot where if you get knocked, it's not going to knock you into the room. That'd be worst case scenario, you get knocked in the room. If we do, that means you got to run out of the room to reset Bug Trio, which would suck. Once again, we're trying to go fast this week. So we stack these all up. We're going to, I guess we kill Kree first. Normally looks like we kill Kree first. I didn't know that we always do that. Okay. I don't know what the order will be this week. We haven't discussed that yet. We'll definitely discuss it before we start the raid. But main things is Priest try and get Fear Words on as many people as possible. Man, Char got low there. That's scary. But yeah, Priest, you're going to be putting Fear Words as many people as possible. Maybe try and be stacked away. So I think you can dispel that fear. I'm not totally certain on that. Obviously, get out of the poison. Shard will, or someone will be AoE shouting all the little guys when they pop up. So just blow them up. It's a great time to use Dynamite. Maybe you want to save Sapper for a later pull. So Dynamite is pretty easy on this one because they're going to be nice and stacked together. We want our tanks to be taunting these all the time. It's like Sartura where you just got to keep a taunt on it at all times. Ideally, Mocking Blow and just kind of chain it. We did a pretty good job of stacking these. It's just for the parse, really, is why you stack them. But stacking is good. Nothing wrong with stacking. Sorry, my dog just ate, so he's hyper. It's going to be running around. So if we ever pull this pack and the warriors at the same time, you just keep the warriors out, and we're just all stacked here together. You know, we'll have assignments of who is tanking these and just be in a good spot where you don't get knocked. If you do get knocked, you need to lip. Ooh, he got low there. Oh, man. So that was close. Lip saved his life there. But the thing about the lip is that, wow, man, he got some love from healers. That was a great job from healers there with shields and other stuff to keep people alive. So there comes the warriors. In these packs, currently our strategy is you kill one at a time. Like I said, I'm not sure what we're going to do for the more faster focus. We may try and go faster for it. Looks like he put on a little tankier of gear. Not a bad idea. On trash in general, let's just go really tanky. Obviously, we don't have world buffs out for this part and last week, so that's part of the problem. I like how there's a couple healers that are down below so they can heal people who fall down. For this pack, we may run up and go into one of these other crevices. The crevice like right here is super easy. Might just be easier to do that. It's a little bit closer to the next pack, so it kind of makes sense to do that. We'll see. Like I said, we'll make that call. Try not to do too much different for the sake of comfort. If we do everything right, it'll still be a nice and fast run, but at the same time, we do want to try and optimize and think how we can be faster in general. And just speaking to that, if we do go in that upper cubby, I'll just kind of pause right here. So what I'm talking about is right here. It's like in this little corner. All the melee go really tight in the corner, and then the casters and everyone are kind of on this side, not super close. The worst case scenario is you get knocked into these other packs over here, so try and not have that happen. Okay, so moving up. Like I said, trying to go quick, so you know, feel free to ask any questions, stuff like that. But yeah, let's see, just moving on up. And I'll make this full screen. Sorry, it's kind of Papega. Okay, so let's see, pretty good stack here. We want to make sure that, see all those casters that are close to those mobs? That's bad. As soon as this pull starts, let's make sure casters are moving away. Good overall with the kidneys. Obviously don't have world buffs out, so we're just kind of slow on our damage. But yeah, just pretty good. I mean, they were stunned basically the whole time. A couple knockups happened. If a mob has like 10% health left, then you can intercept. But in general, just, just be really careful about intercepting. And then it's just a matter of cleaving these down. Some people, maybe for rogues, you want to lip. Hey Valric, thanks for tuning in. So yeah, maybe you want to lip, but for warriors, I would recommend you put on a beefier set of gear. Use Stone Shield. He lipped, probably smart. When it's enraged, it hits really hard. Rella died. Let's see how fast Rella dies. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I mean, if you don't get a heal for a couple seconds, it's pretty rough. So maybe lip, maybe Stone Shield. Depends kind of on your gear level. Lower gear level, definitely lip. If you got like a full, really beefy set of gear, you're using all plate, probably can Stone Shield, and maybe message a healer beforehand saying, hey, I'm going to be cheesy, I'm going to stay in. We do want to be safer in general. Like, every person that loses world buffs when we are going fast, it's a bigger loss. Healers are going to be a little bit more strapped for mana. So if you can do whatever you can to take less damage, that's better. So we're going to run right into Fankris. We may try and have Weirdo, depending on the patrols. He may try and send his pet in to the whatever they're called, the scorpions up here. Ideally we pull 1, maybe even 2 packs of the scorpions, so that after this we have a long runway where we can run all the way up. Just kind of depends on the patrols and how we're feeling as a group. We're not going to get any worms, assuming that we have most people with world buffs still at this point. Did a good job saving Thick Ray. As a healer, like if you see someone in the corner wrapped and they're taking damage, maybe a paladin can do blessings, and I think everything would come to them. Or just be ready to have one healer run over and save them. So obviously for this run we're gonna go up and kill Visk next instead, so everyone will have their sacks before the run. We can talk about Visk at the end. I'll just go to Mano's point of view at the end and we'll go over Visk now, just for the sake of kind of knowing the order of how we're doing things. So yeah, Visk is super easy. You must have your frost weapons. Everyone is really griefing if they don't have the proper gear. We don't care about nature resist. Go full like stam, go full damage. Like I said, beefier set is better. But obviously, only thing that really matters is the frost weapons, frost oil. Try and get icy on your weapons. That does help. I know not many people have that enchant, so don't expect it, but at the very least have frost weapons and have frost oil. Super easy fight. We did it pretty well here. We have it, figured out to this point. So, man, look at that. That's what we want to have from the warriors. See how he swaps his weapons? Swap your weapons for this part. Blow up the globs. We did a great job with our sappers. Not a single one got through. The main thing is, like, see how all these globs are a lot less damaged, or they have a lot less health at this point? Does a good job, prioritizing the ones with more health, getting those down. As long as you get the blobs pretty low, you don't need everyone to sapper. So just keep that in mind. And then do not sapper on Fankris, because we're going to need to make sure that everyone has their engineer consume ready for Visk. So do not sapper on Fankris. So put the frost weapons back on, and just blast it down, making sure to get out of the poisons. That's the main thing. And yeah, super easy. So that was a good example of what we want our DPS to do. Swap weapons out, use the sacks. Mana worded perfectly there. That's how we want it done. So I'll go back to where we were. So obviously we just kill these, moving on up. Gonna be one pack of the Scorpion, so we got to kill at the top. So for these packs, we may pull multiple at once, just out of it happening. The big thing that you want to make sure you have is a free action potion. If you have a free action potion active, then the poison effect doesn't apply. The only way you die in these packs is those little guys. They do a poison that like spits out and hits a couple people. And then the big guys, when they charge, it activates extra damage if you're poisoned. So paladins and druids need to be really good about dispelling the poison, but sometimes you just get hit by two of the poisons like at the exact same tick as you get charged, and you just get insta-killed. So we always will bring the lashers out, focus on killing the big guy, the one that charges. We probably won't have sappers up from Visk, so it would be kind of sketch to pull a lot at once. Probably will only pull maybe 1, 2 max at once, but you know, just kind of pump these down, cleave them down, go fast. And Blessing of Freedom from the Paladins is also really good. See how Zero may be fapped there. I think he's a gamer and fapped. But if you put Blessing of Freedom on, that helps a lot. Yeah, my dog is just going crazy, sorry. So yeah, just moving on up. I'm keeping an eye on how much time I have, so like I said, trying to be quick here. Hoo-hoo! Like, try and, at this point, you would want, I guess you wouldn't want to pop a Greater Nature. I mean, like, maybe at Visk, you'd want to pop a Greater Nature. Obviously, it'll get used on Visk. Pop it again. Well, actually, if you pop it again after Visk, then you won't have a FAP available for off cooldown. So maybe to play it safe, you know, pop your FAP on the little trash packs, and if it's bad, if it's not bad, then at this point, you know, you could pop a Greater Nature. Best thing to do is have a Health Stone or Whipper available for when it's at like 30%. When we pump it down. In theory, if we have a full buffed raid and our priests are not griefing and they correctly use Prayer of Healing on all of the melee groups, no one will die. The only person you're really dispelling is Shard. That was tragic. So what happened here is Tuna had world buffs. Shard forgot to pop his world buffs. So definitely not Tuna's fault there. And this was just bad. Like, we had so many people die. So looking back on it, if you look at how much healing is going out, Hashi has like heal meters. You can see no one is getting Prayer of Healing. There was no one that was getting Prayer of Healing, it looked like. Maybe some people didn't have working heal comms, so it's hard to tell. But it just seems like no one was Prayer of Healing. I know for a fact that Brock was, and most of his group lived. So be like Brock, use Prayer of Healing. You want to shield everyone that you can at like 50%, and you know, just that's when you pop your Eye of the Dead or some other kind of trinket that gives you extra spell power to really, you know, pump out the heals. And it is a little bit on you. Like I said, you want to use a Health Stone. You want to save a Greater Nature till it's below 50% then pop a Greater Nature. We're just going to blow these next guys up. In theory, you usually want to all be stacked together, and then you move back if it's Meteor. Or sorry, move back if it's Thunderclap. So go in together. If it's Thunderclap, it's going to be people taking heavy damage. So it's kind of scary. Like DPS, be ready to pop a defensive. If it's Thunderclap, you can use a Greater Nature pot to take less damage, or even a Greater Fire pot, but Greater Nature is probably better. So if it's, you know, like this terrible pack like we have here, all these casters, they didn't run far enough away, they died. Wumbo just didn't get heals, Black Sabbath just didn't get healed. This mob is kind of on top of the melee, it's cleaving them. So we're going to make sure that people are moving, we're going to make sure that the tanks have it like 2 has it here, where it's more to the side. So we're just going to blow these up, try and go as fast as we can. Once again, the key to speed is no one dying, so you don't need to rebuff and, you know, res people, waste mana on that kind of stuff. So do what you can to live. We're going to be killing these packs, like I said, a little bit faster, so it's going to be less damage going out in theory. So just skipping through this pretty quickly. Alright. Nice. Dodge the ad. So moving up, we're going to do basically same order where we kind of pull the first couple back. Maybe we don't pull them quite as far back, but we still are going to be careful. This is like one of the one points where we can just wipe if we pull poorly. If you pull two of these guys at once, it's a wipe. Like, you're not going to live through two of these. So this is a point where we do need to be careful and just pull one at a time. And it was funny, I saw one group once that tried to skip a couple of these, and these guys pull when twin imps happen, so we definitely have to pull all these mobs. So, pretty simple fight. I feel like our twin imps is one of our strong points. We have good warlocks. It was Mav's first time tanking this, and he did awesome. So, it's really nice that we can have people like that step up. Yeah, nothing really I can say as far as critiques of our warlocks. Just maybe, you know, sometimes use a shadow or like the, whatever it's called, shadow ward is useful before it swaps to your side, so you're able to take a little bit extra damage. Warlock tanks, it's good if you have a shadow protection potion just in case you get chunked and your healers are failing you. But we got a serious problem if, you know, you're not getting healed as a tank here, so our healers just can't grief. So we'll make sure to get rage. We'll make sure that the hunter starts to pull on the right side at the same time as the warlock on the left side. And don't be too concerned on the warlock side. A lot of times warlocks, they will be like, alright, I'm pulling it back now. And they start running backwards. And that means that they're not casting and getting threat. And I'm happy. I'll be on the left side. I'll be happy to pull it back. So I don't think we're going to do any like more optimized positions for here where we're like, you know, saving 5-10 seconds. I'm not sure how Thick Ray died there. Was he too close or something? He just died. Maybe he pulled threat. No, he didn't pull threat. Oh, so what happened is that he left the other side late and was the closest person to the boss. So he got hit by the caster mob twice and just died. Looked like there was a couple people that were casting a heal on him. You just didn't get it off quite fast enough. So, I mean, the only thing he could have done is after he got hit once, you know, use a Healthstone Whipper. I don't think a lip will work there. I think you'll still be targeted. So just make sure if you're staying in and, you know, after the twin teleport, you're not leaving early. See, Hashi, he's fine if you want to stay a little bit longer. But the key is just that you're max range so that when it swaps, it's going to swap and maybe hit the tank. It won't hit, you know, the warlocks. So, pretty easy fight. Just make sure that we're not dragging bugs. If we are dragging bugs, you got to kill them. You can't run with the bugs. That's the talking point that we always say. Some groups really struggle with that. But when you have enough damage, like, you're just going to blow up the bugs. Everyone will just whirlwind down and kill them. So, it's a little bit less of a concern. So, we do have to kill all these packs for the logs to count. So, that just means that we need to be clean with our execution on these. The key is that you don't get whirlwind by all 4 of the mobs at once. So just be aware that these are, you know, like the DK packs where you can move out of the way before the whirlwind happens. You can see the animation starting and then move. So don't be a pure Zug. Like I always say, just run out, be safe. I mean, you can take the damage from 2 of them pretty easily. It's just when, see how kind of, that was a little bit scary when all 4 of them were pretty close to being stacked. Rip Tuna. So these mobs, they do a silence. So we want to make sure that none of them ever run away. They also do a knockback, which drops their threat. So pretty scary in terms of the what they can do to our group if they get loose, where they'll silence all the healers and then no one gets healed and then tanks die and then things fall apart. At the same time, like, see how that guy started to run? If he doesn't get taunted fast enough, and he can't get taunted if, everyone is silenced. So these packs are just pretty cancerous. These are arguably some of the hardest packs to do in Classic. So we just killed the little slayers first, and then we switch to the champion, and then last we take care of the mind slayers. So once again, we had a pretty good ID this time. So hopefully we'll have a good ID this week. If you're able to help fish, that would be awesome if you have a priest that can help fish, because I personally am probably not going to be able to help. But yeah, just, blow them up, continue to use cooldowns. If you have some stone shields, these are great packs to use stone shields on. Someone also mentioned a thing for rogues that they can do is they can use the ZG heart trinket. That's like the armor trinket. Pretty big brain idea. You just use the armor trinket and you basically have a stone shield popped. So we're just blowing these up. We had a rough pack soon. Let's see what happened to Manowar. I'll go to Manowar's point of view. He doesn't normally die, so always curious when Manowar dies. Okay. So we set it up. He's fully topped off, has full health. He's tanking something, bring it off to the side. Does he just not get healed? That would suck. Yep, he just didn't get a single heal, so that sucks. As an off tank, that is probably the worst feeling. I mean, obviously he could have had the stone shield on, but that just sucks. Like, let's make sure that doesn't happen this week. I know, just in general, our performance was not super good, but, like, come on, guys, that just shouldn't happen. Maybe we'll try and ensure that each off-tank has, like, an assigned healer, especially for these packs. And there, let's see. I mean, no healer was silenced. He should have been healed. Make sure that the healers, like, I'd say that Raph is a little close. He might get silenced. So just be a little bit at range where, you're not going to get silenced. See if that happens, if they run in the group. See how they whirlwind the entire raid, and then people get silenced. You have to have the paladins that use their bubble then. So that's definitely not ideal. That was just not an ideal pack. And it gets a lot worse. This pack was then super sloppy. Or sorry, maybe it's the next pack. Yeah, so we kind of got feared into the next pack. So we weren't totally prepared. And this is when it went bad. This is the start of the struggles. So we had multiple people get mind controlled. That's why we're going to have 2 tanks assigned to each mob, so that if someone gets mind controlled, they then can get top threat. And yeah, it just went south really quick. Looks like no one really got silenced, so that wasn't the issue. It's just a 4 Mind Slayer pack, so our tanks couldn't be tanking, and then things get loose, and then people get feared, and just goes south really quick. Got to make sure that we don't kill people that are mind controlled, and just try and CC them. It's good to see Hashi sheeped there. Alright, we hit the timer where I want this stream to be done. So I'm going to just kind of start briefly going through the rest of this stuff. We know this pack where you just got to be careful. He's going to hit it at the right time. Zero did a great job pulling the whole night. It was his first raid with us ever, and he was just a rock star. Good question, Brock. Yeah, so priority of Fear Wards will be the 2 tanks that are assigned to the champion. That's priority number 1 for Fear Wards. After that, it's really just rogues. So it'll be, you'll be able to see on the sheet whoever is assigned to the champion, and then you'll be able to see who is assigned Fear Wards. appreciate you being the correct kind of priest. So these next packs, we just want to make sure that, see how we pull them far back. Sometimes this is one of the few points in AQ40 that wiped in my raid because you get feared into the other pack. We probably could potentially take on all of these nullifiers at once. If we ever pull 2 packs of these, you just literally have to pop every cooldown you have. You have to bring the 2 big warders away from the group, and you have to focus the nullifiers. Yep, champion tanks, exactly. So, I mean, you're popping wreck, you're popping everything you have to kill if we ever pulled both of those packs at once. Just don't panic. Everyone's focused on mana burning, and obviously you don't want to mana burn the first ones that we kill. You want to mana burn, like, the square and moon target, not the skull and X, if we ever pulled 2 packs at once. If it's only 1 pack at a time, you don't have to mana burn at all. You can smite instead. So we're just going to be careful how we pull those. Once again, Zero did a great job pulling. It's a little sketch. Like, if he had waited 5 more seconds, it could have pulled the other pack, and that's pretty scary. If we pulled this backpack at the same time, we have to obviously switch to the nullifiers. It's very doable, but when it's a pack like this that has champions, or sorry, when it's a pack like this that has mind slayers, it gets very scary. Because the tanks then get mind controlled and it just goes full chaotic. So the number one thing I can say is that on these packs we need the DPS warriors to be ready to step up, be ready to put on a shield, be ready to pop a healthstone, be ready to pop a health pot. You know, just be ready to be a hero. Keep your tankier gear on. Don't be in leather. Obviously, like, Hashi has 1 leather piece on. Not the end of the world. He's not too high priority when it comes to the tanking, but you know, just be beefy. So we're going to do same thing where we clear the side packs out. We're waiting a second here to get like mana and stuff before we go into Oro. Once again, we're not really going to be doing that. We're going to be trying to go fast, so don't expect to wait long between packs. Just think about, you know, cooldown timing a little bit more, how we're not going to be waiting for cooldowns. Oro is one of our best fights. I think, what's his name? Iggy just died here, unfortunately. But, you know, it happens. So Hashi, what he does is go to the side and take a sandblast. I like how he popped defensive stance so he didn't die. You know, that's just to get rid of his threat, so then he can pump for the rest of the fight without having to worry about threat. I think typically you want to FAP before you do that, so you don't get stuck in the stun as well. Not 100% certain on that. Someone can confirm, but yeah, that's why he did that. It was intentional. Last time we had it where we didn't even get the popcorn for DMF week. Expect to get the popcorn, expect to have to sit around for a second and, you know, quickly kill these little bugs, so don't all run away. Be ready to kill the bugs. We'll have our assignments for Cthulhu. Last thing I really wanted to focus on was what went wrong here. It's nice to know that we can 25-man Cthulhu, but I never want a 25-man Cthulhu ever again. That was pretty crazy. It was like one of the longest Cthulhu kills ever in era history, which is not a title that I want us to have. But once again, it's pretty cool that we got it done. So let's just look here. Shard goes in, and it was just kind of unfortunate. We want people to spread out pretty evenly on both sides. It looks kind of like a lot more people went to the left side than the right. So just kind of wait for a couple seconds. Don't all bunch up at once. All go in at the same time. We'll look at Manowar's point of view right after this. Just try and make sure that you kill those little tentacles quicker. Like, if you're a caster, focus on the tentacles right away. That tentacle's up too long. They do a knockback, so they can push the people that are in melee into the other groups, which is what caused the that's what caused the chain to be worse. It really wasn't many people's fault of why this happened. It was pretty bad RNG, which is scary because that means it can happen again, right? So we want to make sure that we can do everything in our power to fix this from happening next time. So, long death point of view. Poor man just used his sharpening stones and didn't get much use out of them. I love how I went into that point of view of no UI. Okay, so let's take a look. We all run in together. Once again, like, you just want to... I wouldn't recommend charging... Well, it doesn't really matter if you charge at this point. Like, it got its full 3 blast off. So, you know, you can't expect it to do anything else. See, we got knocked back right away. The casters are all just kind of close to the melee. So as casters, you don't want to be in the middle right here. See how some people are just all close together? Casters really stay far in the back. Melee stay really close in the front. Just stay really close to being on top of your different marks. So find whoever is your group partner for being marked. Stay with them. But that's just really bad luck. Like, we all run in, we all die. So some people in the back, if you're one of the people in the back, run to the back before you start attacking. Don't go in the front and attack. I know that's better uptime and stuff like that, but that's how you cause these wipes. So last thing to really mention is just the fact that, you know, go to the back fast. Don't be attacking from the front first. If you're assigned to the back, go to the back. Other than that, really not much to say. Last month, Haka did an amazing job of being the first person that was knocked in down below. So he popped wreck and like finished off both the tentacles super quick. We want all our paladins to DI at this point. Once we get to the second phase of the fight. Not going to really go over much else. I'm way over the time limit of what I wanted to go over. But yeah, that's really about it. Alright, I guess I'll mod Gashil. Or do I ban him? He's banned me from so many things. He's timed me out so many times. I think you should time him out at least once. I think that's only fair. But anyways, yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to post this VOD like I've posted the other VODs. Yeah, just some basic thoughts of how we can improve. I'm excited that this is going to be the first time that we go fast. It's been a long time getting to this point. So yeah, I'm excited. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't go as planned, oh well. It's just an AQ40 we got next month. We got more AQ40s to practice. But yeah, this is just a time where we're going to want to go a little faster and see what happens. So looking forward to it. So I'm late for an AQ40 right now, so probably won't be as good as ours is all I'll say. See you guys.